Hi, I'm Vandita Shukla, and we are discussing natural language processing in artificial intelligence. You all must be aware of Amazon's Alexa. Well, it's a voice assistant which understands what you speak and follows the instruction. For example, if you say, Alexa, play Shape of You, Alexa will understand what you've said and will immediately play Shape of You either on your mobile phone or your television set. In case you speak it in Hindi, for example, Alexa, Shape of You bajao, Alexa will understand that as well and play Shape of You. Now, the surprising thing is, how come Alexa understood Hindi and English both? Some of you would be thinking, how intelligent is Alexa? While others, like you and me, would be thinking, how did it actually work? As far as I know, Alexa is a machine, and a machine can understand human language. Is it possible? Yes, it is. And it all happens because of natural language processing. Mind it. What is natural language processing? It's a field of artificial intelligence which gives machines the ability to read, understand, and derive meaning from human languages. So, whatever you say to Alexa, it understands and follows the instruction. It focuses on interaction between data science and human language. So, basically, it means that we are going to train machines to decipher what a human has said and respond in a certain manner. In case you find natural language processing too long to speak, you can also say it as NLP. But is it that easy? No, it isn't. It's a very tough task because as we know that there are 6,500 total languages in the world and each language has its own grammar, own words, own sentences, and each sentence has its own complexity and ambiguity attached to it. A person says different languages with different declarations from different geographies, and it's very difficult to manage and understand the meaning because whatever we speak has loads of information attached to it. For example, the topic or the context, the selection of words, the tone with which we speak, and everything else that adds information to it. All of this is unstructured data, which cannot be mapped to rows and columns of relational databases. Hence, we cannot manipulate it easily, and deciphering meaning from it is a big task. So, how does it work? Now, NLP doesn't go with keywords only, it focuses on meanings more than words. And this is also known as cognitive weight. Now, what are the various steps involved in NLP? As far as I know, that understanding human language would involve a lot of processing. Since there are 6,500 languages, it must be a really, really difficult task to manage such a huge chunk of unstructured data. Well, it is, but it is divided into five basic steps. The first one is lexical analysis. As the figure shows, that we fetch the machine a sequence of characters, which the scanner scans and relates with the symbol table, and parser tokenizes it. All these must sound jargons to you. So, in easy language, let's understand it in this manner that a paragraph has been written over computer or is spoken to a voice assistant. It breaks the paragraph into sentences, sentences into words, and words into their root word. For example, there's the word played. We know that the root word is play and ed suffix. So ed suffix will be removed and we will just catch the root word that is play, which will be called token. Another step is syntactic analysis. In this, we actually check the grammar of the sentences and the word arrangement. For example, a sentence will be broken down into subject and predicate. The subject will be broken down into determiner, adjective, and noun. The predicate would be broken down into verb and the second nominal phrase. The second nominal phrase could also be preposition and noun. And this is how the wise dragon imitates a duck is deciphered as part of syntactic analysis. Semantic analysis involves associating meaning with words. These meanings are not just derived from datasets or libraries, but from the real world implementations or the day to day usages of those words as well. The fourth step is discourse analysis. Discourse primarily means conversation. Now, what happens is, whatever sentence we speak, it might take its meaning from the sentence that we have spoken before and might impart a hidden meaning to a sentence that we might say further. For example, sentence 1 is John took a train to Bill's car dealership. Sentence 2 is he needed to buy a car. Sentence 3 is the company he works for now isn't near any public transportation. Now, he in the sentence 2 is John. How do we know it? Because we see that the only noun being used in sentence 1 is John. Sentence 3, that his company is too far now and there is not proper commutation. This is the reason why he buys a car in sentence number 2. Hence, you can see that the meaning of sentence 3 depends upon sentence 2, and the meaning of sentence 2 depends upon sentence number 1. This is what discourse analysis is all about. And the last step is pragmatic analysis. It's mostly associated with deciphering the sentiment or the intent behind speaking a sentence. Even though the two sentences might sound alike or might have the same meaning, there would be poles apart. For example, John, read the book. It's an assertion. John, read the book. It's an order. John, read the book, please. It's a request. Hence, the way you say it also changes the meaning of the sentence completely. And after analyzing the sentence, after these 5 steps, we come to the conclusion. Now, this might be a little messy for you. So, to understand it, let's take an example. Once upon a time, there was a king Ram. He had 4 sons who were called prince. Every day, he used to go on hunting with his soldiers. As per lexical analysis, we will break this paragraph into smaller sentences, and these sentences will be broken down into words. The end result would look like once upon a time there was King Ram, and so on. You might also notice that we have removed the redundant words. Well, this is also what tokenizer does. Syntactic analysis was all about associating grammar with the words and detecting the figure of speech. Hence, the end result would look like once is an adverb, upon is a preposition, a is an article, time is abstract noun, and so on. In semantic analysis, we will understand the meaning behind the phrases, sentences, or the words. Now, the phrase once upon a time is used when referring to something that happened in the past. And similarly, we will understand the meaning of the further sentences. Discourse analysis. Once upon a time, there was a king Ram. He had 4 sons who were called prince. In sentence number 2, in order to understand who is he, we go to sentence number 1 and see where is the noun. Now the noun is Ram, hence we know that he refers to Ram. This is what is discourse analysis. The last one is pragmatic analysis. Once upon a time there was a king Ram is an assertive sentence. When we analyze all the other, they were also assertive. So we can conclude that it's nothing but a fictitious tale of any king Ram, which may be a fact or may not be a fact. It was easy, isn't it? NLP isn't limited to just understanding the meaning of sentences and their sentiments. It has far more wider applications. Now it's the turn to know where is NLP being implemented in the real world. The first implementation is machine translation. Sometimes we need to know what is a certain word called in a different language. You might just speak it. Alexa, please tell what is beautiful called in Hindi. And Alexa might reply, Sundar. Another example of it is when you want to know what is beautiful called in Hindi. You just go to Google search and write beautiful in Hindi. You can see that beautiful is being converted into Sundar, and the meaning underneath is also represented. How did Google search and Alexa understand it? Well, it all happened with natural language processing. Chatbots. In our day to day life, we must be seeing that on LinkedIn, there are certain responses which are automatically given by the LinkedIn software. Or you might be replying to a mail that has been sent to you, and you can see that certain options are available: noted, acknowledged, thank you for the mail. All of this come by deciphering the meaning of the email that has been sent or the message that has been sent to you. And this is the work of chatbots. Spam detection. We often tend to ignore that how can Gmail understand which mail is spam and which isn't? Well, it depends on multiple factors. For example, we will see different financial terms, misspelled spellings, wrong email, overuse, bad grammar, threatening language, inappropriate urgency, misspelled company names, and much more. When all these words are searched in a particular mail, It is then understood whether it is spam or not. And this is also done with the help of natural language processing because we here understand the meaning and the intent of the email. Another one is sentiment analysis. As we already know, in pragmatic analysis, we were detecting the sentiment behind it. And the real world application can be seen in social media. In social media, many people write different posts and reviews. And depending upon their attitude, their tone, the selection of words, we determine which post is a troll, which post is an appreciation, and this helps the cybercrime cells to detect the bullies or the criminals present on the social media by the sentiment of their social media posts, responses, and comments. Text summarization. Researchers and many scientists don't have time to read large chunks of data, but it's their job to go through large piles of resources and understand the meaning behind it. So, what do? They have these softwares known as text summarizers, which take large chunks of data and result in one or two line meaning of it. How does it happen? Well, it is natural language processing is being used along with natural language understanding, and large chunk of data is then being labeled and a meaning is deciphered from it. Now that we have understood the real world applications, it's important to know how to implement NLP in terms of programs. Or how can you and I build an NLP program? Well, we can do it easily with Python programming language. And one such package of Python programming is NLTK. NLTK is nothing but Natural Language Toolkit. It's an open source Python package for building NLP programs. Since it's open source, so any one of you can use it. It has a collection of libraries, programs, and education resources. How does it work? For example, you want to have a tokenizer, you want to do lemmatization, you want to understand the meaning. For each and every task, there is a separate library associated with it. You just need to know the library, import it in your program, and implement it. That's how easy it is. And your NLP program will be ready in few minutes. And this was it from our side to decipher what is natural language processing, various steps involved in it, real world applications, and some of the tools. To know more, keep following and liking our videos. Goodbye.